Good morning, everybody. Shane McCusker here, Intelligent Software, joined today by my colleague Vipia Strauss. Today we're going to be talking about Google Plus for recruiters. As you know, hopefully those of you who have attended our webinars before, we're just trying to share information about technology and recruitment and try to help everybody improve their ability to recruit, work more effectively, make more placements. That's what it's all about. A little plug for ourselves. Intelligent Software develops software and systems for recruiters, recruitment agencies to help them recruit better. Our theory behind all this is if we can help recruiters improve their performance in every area, then there's hopefully more chance that you'll be interested in looking at our products. So if you're interested in our products, please check out intel-sw.com. Give me a call and we will do our very best to entertain and educate and help recruiters wherever we can. So that's the end of the sales pitch. Right, Google Plus. Hopefully you will have heard of it. Some of you may be involved in it. I know I can see the attendees list that I'm actually connected to some of you on Google Plus. Google Plus is very, very new. And this is why it's important for recruiters. It's been described as a recruiter-friendly Facebook. Google Plus is part of Google's ever-increasing suite of products. And because Google is so dominant, Google Plus is taking hold like wildfire. Look at these stats. It's the time it took various sites to reach 10 million users. 10 million users. Bear in mind that LinkedIn, which has been going for years, has about 120 million users. But yet Google Plus reached 10 million users in just 16 days, and it's growing exponentially. It's been on the go for not that long, a month or so. So I've no idea exactly what the numbers are now. I did try and find out, but I couldn't find any up-to-date stats. And to be honest, if I did find an up-to-date stat, by this afternoon it would have been out of date. So you can imagine the rate of growth. The reason it's recruiter friendly is because it's searchable. I mean, Google is fundamentally a search engine, and the reason that it's interested in Google Plus, one, to take on Facebook, but also because it dramatically improves their searches. And I'll explain what they're doing with this +1 thing that they're attaching to it and making it part of it. Ultimately, it's a way for Google Plus to get to know the world better, to get information on the world, to understand what the world wants, and in doing so, be able to facilitate search and ultimately advertising better to the world. But from a recruiter's point of view, just look at that growth rate. It's absolutely staggering how they have managed to captivate the world compared to other Google bits of technology that were a bit of a flop, like Google Wave, if anybody has ever remembered that one, if anybody used it. It was a big thing at the time. It died a death. Google Plus does not look as though it's dying a death. Google Plus looks as though it's a real threat to the likes of Facebook, which is, as everybody knows, just an absolute global phenomenon. Okay, let's explain a little bit about what Google Plus is for those people who have not seen it. Google Plus, you'll think of it, it's a bit like Facebook, it's a bit like Twitter, it's a bit like LinkedIn, probably more like Facebook than any of the others. I suppose they've learned from Facebook and tried to say, well, let's take the best bits and make it better. What I'd also say is Google Plus at this moment in time, strictly speaking, isn't a finished product. It's still in trial. It's still in a beta test stage. So imagine those number of people using a product in trial. So they're continually varying it. It was one of the challenges of preparing this talk is to try and keep slightly on the ball with what's going on. However, in general terms, it's split up into various sections that I'm going to mention on. Profiles, circles, streams, sparks, hangouts. Let's explain those. So, profiles. A profile, it looks, and it's not dissimilar to the way a Facebook profile looks, a bit different. You've got various sections that are highlighted here. You've got posts, which effectively anything that I want to publish to the world. It could be text content, it could be links to websites, it could be photographs, videos, whatever. We've got our photographs up there, we've got videos up there. The About section, I'll show you a little bit more on this when we go into search, but it's not quite LinkedIn, but it certainly does focus on who you are, what you do, where you are, what your interests are. It allows you to create profile information, and that is all searchable. So this is where, the Glenn Cathy, Bullion Black Belt talks about the power of search, and it's a combination between the quality of the information it contains and its ability to search it. So this stuff is searchable. the quality, it's not quite like LinkedIn yet, but where it is really, really powerful is, bear in mind Google Plus's growth curve. Everybody who's got a Google Plus account has created it very recently. So whenever you do a search on it, all your information is current. So we've got 20, 30 million profiles that are bang up to date. LinkedIn has a big problem in the sense that people might have created their profiles 3, 4, 5 years ago and haven't looked at them since. So you've got the potential to have very out-of-date information. Google Plus profiles at this moment in time are bang up to date. Okay, what else can we say? I'll come back to profiles later on. Pierre, I'm going to go through the rest of these reasonably quickly. You feel free to jump in if you've got anything interesting said at any point in time. Circles. Circles. One of the big criticisms of Facebook is that the problem is you put up party photographs from the night before, and everybody that's connected to you on Facebook sees it, including your employers and your people you don't really like, and anybody you've ever connected to on Facebook, your 2,500 closest friends, or however many friends you have on Facebook. So Google Plus works differently. You put people into circles. And this diagram, although it's an official Google diagram as far as I'm aware, is wrong, because these circles should overlap. You can put people in multiple circles. So your best friend could have been a school friend or a co-worker or a member of your family. And the thing is that you can take information and just say, I only want to share this with my best friends. I only want to share this with my co-workers. I want to share this to anybody in the world. I can make it public. So you have much more control about who sees what, and you have obviously, when you put people into a circle, then you can see their public stream if they haven't got you in a circle, or if they put you in a circle, then you can see what they want to identify to you. So unlike Facebook, again, you don't need to have somebody's permission to put them in a circle. You just put them in a circle, and whatever they put out to the public domain, you can see. Okay, streams. Now this is a little bit like if those of you use Twitter, but basically you have a stream which shows you what all the people you have in circles are putting out onto Google Plus. You can select, you can see on the left-hand side here some of the streams. I've created some of these: stream for social recruiting, stream for essay recruiters, and you can see how I could select, I only want to see these particular people. So you can choose what you want to see. And you can follow it, you can share it, you can comment on it, you can create your own comments, putting your own stuff on streams, you can share photographs, you can put on links, you can limit who sees your streams to just particular circles. So there's a lot you can do with that. It's quite interesting. We're keeping it quite pacey today, so I think probably the best thing to do is to jump in and experiment with it. Have you got anything to say about circles or streams or profiles?
Yeah, just what I've found with Google Plus, specifically on the streams and the content being generated there, is the quality is generally higher. It was then generally higher than you get on Twitter. I think also the people that's on there, Google Plus did a good thing. They got a lot of technology people behind it, a lot of very popular technology folks that post a lot of good content. But it's not any RSS feeds. It's not syndicated in any shape or form. So, the stuff you see on there is actually what people put down. They sat down in front of the computer and they typed it out. So it's more authentic. It's more engaging. I found you get more engagement through Google Plus than you would get on Twitter, for instance. Purely because it was written by a person and some thought went into it. And it wasn't some RSS feed that was copied from somewhere else or fed into something. So that makes it useful from my point of view.
Yeah, the big thing about it is you're not limited to 100 and something characters as Twitter is. So it's not just a 2-word caption and a link. It's somebody can actually put something that, and they use as many words as they want to express themselves, which is, gives you versatility and really makes the thing a much more friendly place to be than Twitter, I think. That's my experience.
And there's no spam yet.
Yes, but then again, it's still in beta trial version, so who knows what's going to develop. But, you take advantage of what's there right now. Okay, Sparks. Sorry, the last two things, I'm not 100% sure, but we're doing it for completeness. Sparks, to my opinion, is like Google Alerts. You put in what you want to be told about. Like in this instance, I've typed in True London, where I'm going to be at a conference next week, and I am getting a feed on True London. It just appears on my panel down the left-hand side, so I can see, well, I tell you what my sparks are. I've got one for True London, I've got one for recruitment software, so I can see what is happening in the world in terms of those two topics just by clicking on it. So it's a bit like Google Alerts. It's a bit like sort of setting up a public feed on Twitter. You're just looking for keyword searches on Twitter. So that's sort of what Sparks is. I don't think there's anything revolutionary about it, but it's nice that it's there. And then Hangouts, this is a fascinating thing. Vipia, I'm going to let you talk about Hangouts because you've been able to experiment with this. Explain Hangouts for us.
Yeah, I mean, what Hangouts essentially is, it's like a conference call with video, but you can hang out with different people on the web. Whenever you start a Hangout, most people can join it, and you can, and it's video conferencing. So what I initially thought it was going to be a bit of a mess because you've got 9 people on a conference call, all with video, and whoever speaks, the camera switches on screen to that person's face. But it actually works quite well. I was very, very impressed with it. And I think from a recruitment point of view, there's a lot of things you can do with it in terms of group interviews with your clients sitting in different, if you have assessment centers for clients to sit into it, it's a good way to organize it. I think it's a very, very useful tool, specifically from a recruitment point of view.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a bit like Skype conference call then, only with video?
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what it is, but a lot of potential.
Okay, cool. Right, let's move on then, and we'll talk about what's really key for recruiters is about searching Google+. And I've been experimenting with this. Let me just change my screen sharing if I can. Please let me know when you. Okay, sorry about this. Okay, sorry. Let's go in. Sorry. Okay, you should be able to see my Google Plus profile. Now, probably the easiest way to find people on Google Plus is simply using this Find People bar at the top. Now, obviously, I could type somebody's name in and try and find them, but you can also search from other things. So if I want to search for recruiters, type in recruiter, and I'm going to get, sorry, I want to try, how do we do this? This was working for me yesterday. Recruiter, thank you. And it runs a search, and it looks like a Google search, but it's not. It's a Google Plus search in that it's only returning me profiles, and I can see all these people now. I don't know if this is simply because I'm connected to people that are particularly influential in social recruiting, but I know Oscar and I know Elke here, so I'm thinking to myself that I'm wondering if it knows me and it's giving me search results that are relevant to me. Whilst I'm here on Google, by the way, you'll notice in the toolbar at the top, this black toolbar at the top, this is one of the fascinating things that Google's done recently. You'll see it on all the Google searches. You'll see it says plus Shane at the top left-hand corner. So that is a link on all Google's pages that take me straight to my Google Plus profile. Some of the things I was experimenting with this were, let's see if I can do this here. I was looking for people in Belfast, where I currently am, and I noticed something very strange. When I type that in, look, I've got about 4 or 5 people. Look at the top result. It says John Moore, and I know John, he's in Belfast, and he is a recruiter with Hayes. But whenever I hit enter on this, it does the search, and it reduces the result set to 3. So there's some weird intermittent activity going on here in that Google knows there are people out there that meet my criteria, but whenever you actually run the search results isn't quite as effective as the autofill search results. If I go back in and remove the T from Belfast, John comes back up again. I have no explanation for this other than saying it is a bug in Google search. Some of the things, I'm a little bit frustrated with this, and it doesn't allow me to have the same level of functionality or same level of operators as a straightforward Google search, which is a bit unusual. But it's giving me some results. So here we see recruitment consultants in Belfast. I've got 3 results, but obviously you can see that there are many more people in there that for some reason it's not able to find. If Google or anybody can tell me why this strange behavior is happening, please let me know. Okay, as well as searching through Google+, there's a number of websites that are springing up that allow you to search Google Plus profiles. And one of them, which I find quite interesting, is this one is called Find People on Plus. And the website is www.findpeopleonplus.com. Now, there's a range of these. I've been experimenting with them, and my experiment started off by saying, well, I'll type in my own name to try and find myself. I was able to find myself on Find People on Plus, but some of the others that I'm not mentioning now, I might put them up on the website later on, didn't seem to want to find me. And the problem is this: Google Plus is growing so fast. These are independent websites that need to index Google Plus, and so they only have indexed a fraction of the people that are there. So it's quite difficult. But what it does allow me to do is if I type in, this one's quite nice. Let's try recruitment consultant, spell it correctly, Shane. When I find my recruitment consultants, there's Oscar still coming up the top of the list. Good for you, Oscar. Well done. But it gives me a range of filters down the left-hand side. And so this means that I will say, okay, so I only want to see people that are educated in Dublin City University. And lo and behold, I get people that are recruiters. You see, now again, it's a little bit fuzzy here because I typed in recruitment consultant and it's looking for the words recruitment, but it's fired up recruitment consultant there. But it's also got recruiter. I'm not too sure how the search knew that recruitment and recruiter were related words, but obviously it does. And it allows me to filter down. So it's quite interesting. But the problem is it's only getting me the people that it's indexed, and I don't feel it's comprehensive. And certainly when I was experimenting, if I type in recruiter, it's probably going to give me different results. Let's try this. I haven't tried this before, so where is Dublin? Anyway, sorry, I'm struggling to see where that is, and my scroll bars disappeared as well, which is a bit of a nuisance. So it works in different ways. In the experiments that I was running, my favorite way of searching Google Plus at this moment in time is actually just to use straightforward Google. So this is not Google searching Google Plus. This is just Google going to google.com. And what I've done is I have put in a Boolean search string. You'll remember from last week's LinkedIn webinar, if anybody was interested in watching that, if not, it's on our blog page, I was explaining this Google operator called site colon. And if you use site colon, it's called an X-ray search. And what it means is you're directing Google to search a website. And what I'm directing to search is this plus.google.com. So forget the rest of this stuff. Not needed at this moment in time. That's all you need to do. And you can put in whatever you want to put in there. And it'll just get you profiles. It seems to be quite good, actually. The pages it's returning are all just Google profiles. So if I click on Rob here, boom, takes me to Rob's page. I can click on About. And this is one of the things I wanted to show you earlier on. The profile page has this About section. It tells you who they are, it gives you education, gives you occupation, it tells you where they live, which is very useful. Let me just back in here. I'll put in the rest of my string. So say, for example, I was looking for South Africa and recruitment or recruiting or recruiter, and I'm getting Google Plus profiles. And this seemed to work a good bit better than just typing that into Google Plus. Let's see if I can try it in Google Plus. Find out. No, it's Google Plus. Find this one. When I do it through that search, it's giving me profiles. I suppose that's actually working a good bit better today than it was yesterday. Oh, there you are, Vierpia. Nice to see your profile appearing there. And on
114 results versus 27,000.
Yes, but that's the problem. I mean, well, one, never ever pay any attention to Google's result listing. 27,500. I don't believe that at all. For one thing, we've only got 4 pages of 10, so it's a maximum of 40. So Google results are just a nonsense, really. I don't even know why they bother putting them there. Whereas in this X-ray search, we've got loads more profiles. Look at the results we're getting in terms of number of pages. If I go to page 10, we're getting stuff through there. So we're getting much better results on doing a Boolean search through Google than we are doing a search for Google Plus profiles. I have no real explanation for that. It's just the way the things work. Okay, talking to some real sourcing experts, Glenn, Cathy, Johnny Campbell for 2, they were telling me about this mechanism whereby if I go to a profile, let's try one of these people. If you look at this individual and we go to the About section, it tells me he's an IT trainer, Worked for an IT trainer for South Africa's leading recruitment portal. I wonder which one that would be, Virpia. Anyway, it also tells me places lived: Cape Town, South Africa, Durban, Johannesburg. There's a Google operator, which is a star character. And if I want to find people that lived in a certain section, I type in LIVED, lived, star, South Africa. Run that search. The star, whenever you're putting it in, means a few words in between. It doesn't seem to get me great results with a single star, but if you put in 2 stars, it gives me much better result set. It's a much shorter result list. Strangely, if you put in 3 stars, you get another result set again. Okay, in this instance, I'm getting pretty well exactly the same result set. But what it's doing is it's looking at this about page and trying to find the word South Africa near the word lived. So if you're getting too many results, this is a way to cut it down. That said, my experiments with this was that this search on its own without the lived is actually giving pretty good results. I went through this last night, as you can see by the color code on the profiles, and I think it was only page, yes, it was page 3 or 4 before I found somebody who didn't live in South Africa. So simply using the country name and then the keywords you're looking for seems to give pretty good quality results. Okay, Virpia, have you got anything to say on search?
No, that's just, I'll just be very, I mean, whenever you're searching on country as well, just be aware that usually within Google Plus, it asks you where have you lived before. So on mine would be Belfast, Leeds, Cape Town, those 3 places. You might do a search for, Belfast, I come up, but I'm actually not living there anymore. So it's actually asking you for places you have lived, so there might be 3 or 4 or 5, and give you people that actually is not in South Africa at the moment.
Absolutely. I mean, you've got to consider the false positive hits that you're going to get through this, and these Google searches seem to be. The reason I'm showing all 3 is because of the fact that you'd use them in all in combination, and you want to see what works best for you. A few days ago, I was running this, and that lived star search was giving me better results than this search is. I suspect in a few days' time, some of the other sites are going to do better jobs. So, you need to have an array of different tools available to you to be able to go and search these things.
Do you get other results if you try Johannesburg or Gauteng or
yes, absolutely. So you could also do, put this in brackets. One thing that concerned me about this, though, is that I was getting a shorter result set with this search. You can see that I've only got 98 now. And so it's probably better to do South Africa, then Cape Town, and then so on. So I've got 121 when I only put in Cape Town. So, so I would recommend that you vary it. The stuff seems to be quite flaky in terms of the way it's being indexed and the way that it's coming up. And that's a little bit of a concern, but just keep varying it. You probably also find that if I remove some of this stuff, the results will change again, not necessarily in a negative sense, but it'll probably pull up people that are different. So I can see just by looking at this, the links that I haven't highlighted. So maybe that's because it's recruitment rather than recruitment consultant, but it's certainly worth varying your search terms because it is giving you different results and you're getting new stuff each time. I don't have a really good explanation for that. I will be investigating that. Maybe next week in True London, we can talk to some of the sources there and see if they can give us a better explanation as to why it's happening and some ways of doing it more effectively. But that's part of my experimentation that I'm doing and seeing the results coming from it. Okay, Virpia, do you want to talk about some of the other stuff that you've been doing with Google Plus?
Yeah, sure. We can just switch it over to my screen.
Yeah, make it the presenter.
What have you still got to go? You're going to talk about the Google the Plus one?
I'm going to talk about Plus One. I'm going to talk about how to get on to Google Plus, and I'm going to, and I'm going to give people links to various websites that I've got. You're the presenter now. I can see your screen.
Yeah. Okay, great. Okay, just a browser extension that I found if my screen just refreshes.
So I can see your go-to meeting. Oh, there we go. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So what I've been using is I actually, because I am obviously on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, LinkedIn, now Google Plus, adding another social network to the mix was a bit much to to update everyone individually. So what I did is I looked for an extension where I could just pull everything together in one place. So you'll see my screen looks slightly different to Shane's. If you can see if I click on my stream there, if I type there and I want to do an update on Google Plus, for instance, then what I can do, if you see down here, I can share it to Facebook, I can share it to Twitter, and then obviously I can add, whether it's public or whether it goes to my circles or wherever it goes. I can publish that to any social network if I want. And I did that by putting in this extension called SG Plus. It's at the top there. If I click on it, you'll just see what you can do is just incorporate all your profiles. So quite a nice feature that it's got. Locate your friends on Google Plus, your Facebook friends. If you've got any people on Facebook that's already on Google Plus, useful way to grab them. There is Twitter stream, and you can update Twitter from here as well. And what it also does, it pulls in your streams. If you look at the bottom, you can see there is my Facebook feed. If I click on that, it comes up. If I click on my Twitter feed, that comes up. And if I go back to my top, there's my official Google Plus stream. And I can integrate the two as well, but I didn't want my Facebook and Twitter stream to be mixed in between my Google Plus stream because it just makes it very, very hard to read. So that's it's called SG Plus. I got it on the Chrome store. It's also available on Firefox. On the Firefox browser. It's just SG Plus. Go look for it. Free to install. Very easy to install. Another site that I've also been playing around with is, and I'm not going to stay on this one for too long because it's got some very choice words on it, is Google Plus Popular Posts. Very useful because it ranks all the popular posts. The other one I want to show you as well is googlepluscounter.com, which is basically all the lists of people in certain industries. So if you're getting into Google Plus and you want to follow some people that's already on it, who posts a lot of updates that's of interest to you, that's just googlepluscounter.com, and you'll see there's a whole pile of them there. There's Android developers, and there's people interested in nature and landscaping, and all the Google verified profiles. If you want all the latest news, very interesting list to follow. Yeah, and that's what I mean. You can also start your own list. So if there's specific people, you can see there's one. I think there was a very popular recruiting one. If I just type that in, I don't think I'll find it now. But there's a very popular recruiting one with all the popular people in recruitment. Unfortunately, Shane, you didn't make the cut there. But
Jaco, there's Jaco Valkenburg. Hopefully, I'll be talking to Jaco next week with regard to LinkedIn.
Yeah, so there's I quite like this site because it helps you find people that are actually very active on Google Plus, and they post a lot of interesting things. So between the statistics on the previous one, which is popular posts, and this one, which is list search, you'll be able to find interesting people to follow.
Cool. Okay.
So, yes, what I wanted to show you with that +1 button that you didn't see earlier. I wonder if it's going to work now. No, my cookies are still messing it up, so it does work. I wanted to show you, but it's not working now.
Okay, not a problem. Do you want me to take, I can talk a little bit about +1 if you'd like me to. Do you want me to take control back again?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, here we go. So, no, let's see if I can, no, show my screen. Okay, sorry, pardon me with this. I'm going to try and get switching to, there we go. Okay, all right, can you see this the screen capture that I pulled out? I was doing a Google search, needless to say, about Google Plus, and lo and behold, on this just was a normal Google search, typed in something about Google Plus, and you'll see at the bottom of the search result, it says Brett Jones +1 this. Maybe Brett's on this webinar. Brett's a Cape Town recruiter who's in one of my South African recruiter circles, and because of the fact he's in one of my circles, Google tells me Brett likes this web page. And this is what Google's doing a lot with Google Plus about. It's about trying to get people to recommend sites. And with the Google search result, it says, "Do you want a +1 this?" And you say, "Yeah, I like this site." Google remembers it. You've got a list of your +1s, and it enables them to encourage their search results. So much so, let me move back to Chrome here. Okay, where am I now? Yeah, here we go. This is our blog page, and if you go to it right now, you'll see this Google Plus, the next big thing of recruiters. Today I'm running a webinar. I'm going to post the recording of this webinar on this page. I've also put in on this, if you've not set up Google Plus and you'd like to connect in, click here for a link, and I'll invite you to set up a Google Plus profile. And by all means, put me in a circle, and I'll try and put you in a circle, and then we'll follow each other and see what's going on. But the thing I want to show you is on this site, I've added in a Google Plus button, a +1 button. I've got it there, and I've got it there to make it a bit bigger. And what I'd like, this is the fee for today's webinar. If you really want to be my friend, plus our acknowledge our site. It's only been set up for the last hour, just before this webinar, so I'm not too sure exactly what effect it's going to have on the site, but I'm hopeful that it's going to endear the site a little bit to Google Plus, or to Google, and maybe it'll allow people who are looking at the site to realize that you've +1'd our blog page and say, yeah, if you like our blog page and you like the webinars, please tell Google Plus you like it.
Yeah, so I think it did come up in the search menu. When I searched intelligent software, it came up and said Shane +1 this.
Oh, brilliant.
And as of from yesterday, they've actually made that plus button so that whenever you +1 a site, you can actually share that to a specific circle. So if you like intelligence and you want to specifically share that to, let's say, for instance, your recruiting folks, you can just select that circle and it only goes to that specific person, which makes it really useful because if you want, come across a job as a recruiter, you want to share it with, let's say, your HR circle, or you've got a tech circle, you've got a marketing and sales circle. If there's really interesting jobs or information bits that you want to share with them, you just select which circle that goes then, and it's very targeted information that you're providing your followers, which is very, very useful.
Yep. So, yeah, if you wouldn't mind pressing our +1 button, I'm not too sure exactly what's going to happen as a result of it, but press it and find out. If you like our website, +1 us. Okay, have we got anything more to say about Google Plus other than the fact hopefully today has given you a taster for what it is. It'll get into it and get involved in it. We're not going to go into too much detail because, as I say, the site is just changing so rapidly at the moment, and it is growing so fast at the moment. What it's going to turn into, we're not too sure. But we wanted to make sure that our audience was aware of what was going on there, so that you're an early adopter, get in there first and try and create a presence and a profile on it. Have you got anything more to add to that, Virpia?
Nope. No, just if anyone is creating a profile, it's quite easy to get your friends on it. You can import lists from CSV, so if you want to export all your LinkedIn contacts, you can pull them into Google+. There's some bits and pieces how you can import Facebook people as well through Yahoo Mail. I don't know if you know about that one and how to do it, but if you've got friends on other social networks like LinkedIn, like Facebook, it's easy enough to pull them in. The Facebook one is a slight detour because you've got to go to Yahoo, download them in there, and then add Yahoo to Google+. But there's ways and means to build your network really quickly. Just import the people you already got on other social networks, and it'll be much easier than to start from scratch.
Yeah. Hopefully, actually, Google Plus will improve those. I'm not entirely convinced that I like some of their mechanisms to invite people and to add content onto it. I was noticing on their videos section, it doesn't allow you just to give a YouTube video link. Otherwise, I would put a lot more videos up, but it does actually want you to give it to upload a video directly to it. So hopefully there's things there that are going to change and improve on Google Plus. And maybe one of them is about connections, but you can do a lot at this moment in time. And hopefully we've shown you ways that you can search and find people. And that too is a way that once you find people, just add them to a circle and engage them and see how you get on with that. Okay, a few other things. What else have I got to do at this moment in time? Where's my Prezi gone? So, pardon me. Let me just share this again. Yeah, this is our blog page. If you want to get onto Google Plus, do that. What I'll also do later on today is I'll put those links that Virpia was talking about, and we'll get those up there for you. So use that as if you want to follow on any of the links to do that. Next week is very exciting. Back to LinkedIn from True London. I'm not too sure exactly what's going to happen there, but it's happening, and the registration for that webinar is also on our blog page, so please do that. One final thing, Virpia, this is probably one of the last times we're going to be doing webinars together. Vapia is leaving intelligence and moving on to other things. So I'd just like to say thank you very much for all your contribution to our webinar series. Hopefully you'll be involved in other webinars in the future as well, just because you've moved on to other things.
I hope so. If you'll have me back, I'll be here.
But delighted to have you at any time, Vapia. So best wishes for you and your future moves. And thank you very much for everybody for attending today. The video, I'll put it up later on today or tomorrow. And any feedback or questions or comments, please send them along. My email, intel-sw.com, or shane@intel-sw.com. And look forward to hearing from you. And +1 our website, please. Thank you very much for your time.